I suffer from agoraphobia. I've had it for 27 years. I have a lot of panic and anxiety. I also have long-term COVID breathing issues. And I was
Mm.
coming to Innerworld to hopefully find ways to help have progress and get out of this quicksand that I've been stuck in for so long.
Welcome to Innerworld Stories, where we explore life's challenges and successes by diving into the inner world of our thoughts and feelings. We can improve our mental health and understand why we suffer and how to feel better.
When I
Hello, my name is Meg Robinson. I will be your guide as we explore these inner world stories and the real life people behind the avatars. I want you to meet Papaw, who is ready to share his story about agoraphobia and how he is overcoming challenges every day. Papaw, tell us about your journey.
when I first found Innerworld, I really didn't realize the power that it had. Here we can I've been using a lot of the tools more frequently because they're readily available. I can bring them up at an instant, whether I'm in my Oculus or whether I'm on my cell phone. I can bring up the tools, and it's helped make it help the progress of me getting out of my house more frequently and having a little bit less anxiety. And that's what brought me to Innerworld.
The precipitating factor, I guess, I'd like to know as far as your deciding to go to inner world and to use that as a form of help.
So when I first came in Innerworld, like I said, I really wasn't sure what was going to happen. As I started coming to the groups and to the meetings and all the tools that was presented to me, uh, I started using the tools. I started working. I started going to the events, and then I started taking what I was learning to the outside world and using it. And I would start getting, that little extra help because I had the support from, the members here and the meetings and the tools. And I would just get to the door and I'd say, I can do this. And I would get
Mm.
outside.
What was your, if you think back on the tools that you used, what was the one that was the most helpful to you?
So I actually have two. One is the hula hoop. Realizing what I can control is inside my circle, and what I can't control is outside of my circle.
You want to bring it
And the
up?
other,
You want
yeah,
to,
sure, I can
yeah,
bring up the.
bring it up so we can see it. Okay, and why don't you describe how it works?
Okay, so as you can see, it's three hoops. It's like a hula hoop. And, the things that we can control, we control our thoughts, we can control our actions, we can control our opinions. So those are things that we, instead of letting them bother us, we have that control. The things like, traffic or the weather or other people's opinions, we can't control how other people see us or other people think about us you know so with my agoraphobia and getting outside, I could control how I felt about going outside. I can control how my actions were, getting to the door. I couldn't control the weather that was outside or things in that nature that was stopping me, but I could control getting there and putting everything that I've learned into motion.
Why do you think it's important to identify the things that you can control and the things that you can't control? Like why is that helpful?
So for me, I was always worrying about what other people was thinking, So if I was going to have a panic attack, I never knew when it was going to happen. And my biggest fear was having an attack in front of other people and what they would think about me and, what their actions would be. So when I started learning, the power of the hula hoop, I realized that it doesn't matter what they're thinking. What matters is how I take control of my actions and control of my fear of getting outside.
Yeah, I love this tool too. I think it's really, really helpful, and I think the stress comes when we're trying to control things that we cannot control, and believing that if we could change those things, everything would be fine. So, what is another tool that that was helpful to you?
So the other one was the best case, worst case, most likely scenario, and I'll also bring that one up just a second here.
Okay.
So I actually use this one on a daily basis. I actually used it today to get out to go to the store. So my situation was going to the store. And because I have panic going outside and going to stores and being around crowds, I use this one a lot. So the worst case scenario about this whole situation would be, I wouldn't make it to the store. I'd have a massive panic attack and not be able to go there. you know, the best case scenario would, yeah, I make it. I don't have a panic attack. Everything goes well. In my situation, the most likely scenario is I'm going to make it to the store. I'm going to have mild anxiety and everything's going to be okay. By breaking it down this way, you can see it. And it's helped me realize that, the worst case scenario more likely is not going to happen. It's a really powerful tool in that way.
Yeah, and you're sort of laying out your worst fears and your hopes and trying to step back and reflect on things. And I think that's one of the things that these tools help us to do is to reflect on what's happening and why it may be happening. And it's so good to hear that you've made that kind of progress and um, Papaw, and that these being in Innerworld and meeting with people and having access to these tools has really helped you to overcome a lot of obstacles.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it really has. Before I came into Inner World, like I said, I was always in constant fear of what other people would think about me when I went out. Using this tool right here, like I said, I use it quite frequently, and it makes a roadmap, and makes my mind when I leave the house realize that the worst case scenario is not going to happen, and just by knowing that gives you that extra strength and extra energy, and it boosts you out because now you're realizing that it's not going to happen. You're probably going to have a little bit of mild anxiety, but it's okay. You're going to survive. And it's been powerful. And just by doing that in the 8 months, I've gotten to the point where going out more frequently has been a staple of my life. It's really improved my life. It's helped me, realize that agoraphobia is no longer going to take over my life. One of these days, I'm going to conquer it, and I'm going to be out there without realizing that I'm having it.
Well, Papa, that's really inspirational. And this has been a great conversation. Really appreciate your sharing some of these insights. I'm glad that you've made so much progress and you're so committed uh, to having a better life. And it sounds like it's happening because of your commitment and your hard work and being a part of Innerworld. So thank you so much, and hope to see you again soon.
I appreciate it, Megan. Thank you. And, the thing that I've learned here in Innerworld is the more you use the tools, the more you put into it. You have to put in the work, because if you don't put in the work, you're not going to have the successes. And I'm proof that, by putting in the work, it's helping.
Absolutely. Thank you, Papa.